Hiya, hiya, it's Joey Reynolds reporting from the home of the relatively unimportant, better known as Birdland. That's where I should do my show from. Or the Iridium, some jazz club. I have, I guess when you were a drug person, you would say you had a horse on your shoulder or something like that. Wasn't that the expression? I don't know. All I know is that the doctor called me, Dr. Siegel. He's great. He's on Fox, and he asked me to come to the office, and he said to bring a stool sample. So I brought the stool with me, and it's tough to get this in the overhead bin, you know. But I'll tell you something. They didn't want to let me on JetBlue with this, but I told them it was a service stool, and that was okay then, as long as I paid the extra fee. You can have anything you want, just buy a seat. I bought a seat for my seat. I think that, remember they used to have that burning log? I don't know if you ever had television like that. On Christmas, they would give the employees off on television stations, and they would have this burning log, and Christmas music would play all night long, Christmas Eve and all the way in, because the families would go home and spend the time with their other families. And they would then burn the log on television and play that music, and that was the burning log. So I think since we're in a society that's really not as mild as it was and not as family oriented, we ought to just have this bird all night long squawking. That's just like the log, except the bird squawks all night long and keep it going. It's just amazing how we have found so many liars in our society. With that guy that was on television who said he got beat up, and I don't even want to bring it up, but I'll have to. The thing that I really want to bring up is people over 65, they didn't want us to give our licenses back now. I think everybody ought to give their license back in government. That's where they ought to give it back, because they have lost their way. And you know, the highways, they want to open 2 of them in California with no speed limit. Well, one is the highway to hell. The other one is the one to marijuana, to medical marijuana up in Humboldt County. They have unlimited speed. You just get up there, boy. Well, that is where you get speed also, along with your marijuana. But this is the way it is. I mean, our society is so crazy, and people who stage crimes and video cameras on everybody, you know. I mean, you can't get away with anything. And then they reward you if you turn someone in. So they made a stool pigeon out of everybody. I'm Italian. We are even not wired anymore. Well, because everybody's gone wireless. That's why we're unwired. And believe me, my wiring is a lot different than yours. I know it is. It's very, very different. So I want to thank you for watching me on these Reynolds Raps. And one day you'll be able to get me on over-the-air television when they allow this kind of language. It's called the truth. We don't want, God forbid, we should tell the truth, because there's only that's not news. News starts with whoever did what wrong and how bad everyone is and what doesn't work and how dark it is and sinister and mean-spirited. That's the evening news, the afternoon news, the 24-hour news, and who's right and who's left and who's wrong and who's in the middle. And it just goes on because it's insane. It's practicing insanity. Put all this stuff on the air so that people will be able to buy cars. Then they do a Honda commercial, then a Toyota commercial, and a General Motors commercial, and they throw in a Volvo. What car am I supposed to drive? I got 15 car commercials, all in a row on one break. It's like a magazine, you know. You just keep turning the page till you see the story again, or at least electronically. You start to now just use your phone for everything. We don't read the paper anymore. We put it under the bird. That's what we do, and have everybody at the New York Times know what we think of them. So this is it. It's a Reynolds Rap.